slaughterman, and the tasmiyah, which is the reciting of the name of God and saying Allah is great, and that's the basic requirement. Now the differences of opinion regards whether or not stunning is acceptable. Some do accept it as long as the animal doesn't die as a result of the stunning method, and the death occurs as a result of the exsanguination, the cutting of the throat and letting the blood out. But some are concerned about that, and they have the meat from animals that were slaughtered without stunning.
Do you think this is a humane method?
Well, at the time when this was advised, it was probably the better method, quicker than the other methods, such as delivering a blow on the head. But over the years, with the advances in technology, there have been new methods to make the animals unconscious before the neck cut, therefore unable to feel anything. So that must be preferable, because there's a question about the cut with the knife, whether that causes pain, and afterwards, during the bleed out, whether there is more pain or distress.
We're now in the killing station itself. As you can see, the animals are coming up to our station one by one. The lairage is on ground floor downstairs, and the animals are from the lairage coming upstairs on a V-restraining conveyor belt. We have a computerized machine here, which is totally controlled. Now, the operators do not have an opportunity to change any of the settings in any shape or form, and each immobilization act is recorded, so should you ever require data, we have that data here. These are electronics tongues that just literally touch the animal for a split second by literally immobilizing the animal, and within 1.2 seconds the animal has been slaughtered and it's hanging upside down for the blood to drain straight down.
Do slaughtermen have to have special training?
Muslim slaughtermen have two. Obviously, one training they will have is what is considered a UK ECC license, and for a Muslim slaughterman, he has to be a practicing Muslim, which he has to be a sane and Muslim person.
It's proper halal, so I'm quite happy with this.
And have you worked for long here?
I'm working from last 3 years. So whenever we kill sheep, every time we say Bismillah wa Allahu Akbar.
And what does that mean?
That means with the name of God, and the God is the greatest.
So the knife is very sharp.
Yeah, that's very sharp. It needs sharp after 10 sheep we kill, then we sharp it again. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah wa Allahu Akbar.
It's surprisingly quick. It's not a plant.
Bismillah wa Allahu Akbar. Bismillah wa Allahu Akbar.
The Muslim slaughterman who's performing the act of zibah will actually say Bismillah wa Akbar on each animal individually, and after he's done that, he will wash the knife ready for the next operation. As you can see, from the moment the animal is immobilized to the moment it's actually killed, it's literally 1.2 seconds, and so that the animal has no pain or minimum amount of pain. All animals can smell blood, all animals can smell fear. We try to alleviate this by one animal has seen another one, and actually, because we're coming from open air into the slaughterhouse, they actually don't really smell. We have found that animals are less agitated and easier to control.
Can I just ask, when the animal's throat is cut, how long does it take for the blood to drain?
So the animal's left to bleed for minimum 5 minutes.
And then it goes down, hanging upside down on a conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt. The heart beats the blood out, as well as gravity. So we're really getting more blood drainage in this method, so the impurities are removed from the carcass. The next stage, they will split the stomach open, and Meat and Hygiene Service will inspect liver, heart and lungs to see if they are fit for human consumption. And at that stage, they will know straight away. And once they're happy with that, they will let the heart go to one station and then let the carcass go to another station. Yes, they're part of the government, but they're still part of our team.
For halal slaughter, some form of stunning method can be acceptable, like you've seen today. The Jewish method, the shekita method, all shekita is carried out without stunning, because they believe that the shekita cut, which is carried out with a very sharp knife, provides the same conditions as provided by any stunning method. In other words, they believe that it's painless and the animal dies immediately. That's what they believe in.
What's the scientific view?
Well, the scientific view is that it was difficult to prove scientifically whether or not there was pain felt by the animal at the time, but there is more new scientific information that there may be pain, but that's something very new. They have very strict rules about kosher meat, or the shekita slaughter has to be carried out by highly trained Jewish slaughtermen, and they carry out their own meat inspection as well as the conventional meat inspection. They don't want any blemish, basically, at the moment. And if there was a stunning method that wouldn't cause any blemish at all, that might be acceptable.
And you're working on this?
Well, we've done some work on a novel method which is using transcranial magnetic stimulation. That is actually using a magnetic field, applying it on the head into the brain, and creating a state of insensibility without actually any potential for causing any pain, and also not causing any tissue damage. In fact, magnetic stimulation is routinely used in humans for diagnostic purposes, and also it is now used for treatment of depression. So we know that it doesn't cause any pain. So we worked on that, but it's not commercially available yet to be used as a stunning method.
We're now onto our system here. Each animal, we generated a barcode, and that barcode will correspond with where the animal came from and which farm. It'll tell you the sex of the animal, it'll tell you the size of the animal, it'll tell you the weight of the animal, the fat of the animal, and obviously it'll clearly say it's been halal slaughtered.
Certification is another issue. There is more than one certifier in the UK, and they are competing with each other, if you like. The certifiers, they are self-appointed at the moment. There is no official system. So I think maybe that's one area that needs to be regulated in some way.
The Muslims are the largest consumers of euc, or should I say mutton. We're eating 5 times as much red meat as a non-Muslim. So it's a massive market.
Muslim meat or food or whatever is completely unregulated. I'm talking about right now opening up literally overnight £1 billion business for the farming community and the UK PLC. New Zealand, Australia, Brazil, all these countries are exporting halal meat into the Middle East and into the lucrative market, which we in the UK have totally ignored. If we label the animal correctly, say stun and unstun, hand-killed or machine-slaughtered, then the Muslim can actually make a decision on what they want to buy.
Reporter Sarah Parker talking to Naved Syed, Managing Director of Janan Meat Limited. Naved's point that the Muslim community isn't being well served by the British meat industry has been heard. A new study of the UK halal market is underway. It's a 6-month project financed by meat companies to try to get a clear picture of the often obscure supply chains. Naved Syed is a member of that halal steering group. They hope to develop a single assurance scheme that will win the trust of all Muslims. Norman Bagley, Policy Director of the Association of Independent Meat Suppliers, represents the businesses supplying most of the halal meat in the UK. At the moment, they have no up-to-date information on the size and scope of the market.
Essentially, the halal market will have changed significantly since the last time any meaningful studies were done into the extent of it, the potential for it. Most of the information that's available is anything up to 8 to 10 years old. And EBLEX, which is the body looking after the interests of the red meat industry in England, have to